All right. I appreciate your time. Welcome back to Toronto.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time you guys have been here in about 3 years.
Yeah.
Ish.
Something like that.
I don't think we've got a live date in town here for the Path to Totality. I'm looking forward to seeing some of that stuff live.
We will be doing some of it live.
Awesome.
It's really fun to do, man, because there's just so much going on. It's so big and powerful, and I enjoy it.
Awesome. Now, you've been doing a lot of press, obviously, for the new album. I've read a couple articles, front cover articles on Metal Hammer and Revolver. Love that Revolver cover, by the way. Those sweaters are freaking priceless.
Yeah, when we were doing that, I was like, we're always like pretty open to try new things. Obviously, if you know that about KoRn, and they're like, all right, you're gonna put on this this turtleneck, and I'm like, man, I'm claustrophobic a little bit, So I put the turtleneck on anyways.
Right on, man. I do like that about KoRn, that you are willing to try new things. And I'm curious that you put something up online and the majority of the first postings are all negative. I don't understand that. Like, your fans have to
Well,
be...
I don't know if you guys have it up here in Canada, but where we're from, there's a lot of, like, there'll be shirts or hats and they say, I love haters.
Yeah.
You guys have that? Like,
Yeah.
It's a big thing. I want to come out with my own that says, haters will like it later. Because they always end up, I had to grow on me, or it's like most haters are uncomfortable to come out of their own little box. They're like, I like Blind. Cool.
Yeah.
You're still in the front row.
Yeah. That's almost 20 years old.
Yeah.
And if you liked Blind 20 years ago, what are you listening to right now? And why aren't you progressing with a band, right? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because we still do a little bit for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, this is how it is these days, and if you're in the current world, you got to be current. And for the older cats, we'll do we still do some old stuff.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about Don Gilmore? What it was like working with him?
It was cool working with Don Gilmore because he's a musician. He was able to play drums, bass, guitar, harmonies, everything.
Yeah.
You don't run into that all the time. So so right off the top, you have you kind of let your wall down. You're like, well, this guy's a better musician than all of us. So it's like, it's kind of cool to work with someone like that. And he gave a lot of good ideas, and it's nice working with him.
Does KoRn have like a mantra or a mission statement when they go in to record and write new material?
It's always different. That's what I think. That's why it works, and you're always going to get something fresh and new. Like, we'll take different approaches. Right. Just like Path to Totality was a complete different approach. We've done everything that you can imagine. Every way of sitting with me and Monkey facing each other with the drum machine,
right,
to playing with the whole entire band together, to one guitar riff or a bass starting it, or just whatever. We're just open to whatever. It doesn't matter. Sometimes I'll pick a guitar up and play it. Sometimes John will pick up my bass, and it just doesn't matter.
Was the recording process for this album any different from previous albums? And if so, could you describe how?
I think that the only thing that was different was with Head coming back. It was like it brought everything fresh and new again. And it was done pretty much the old school way of the whole band in the room just jamming out and just riffing ideas. And so I guess it was kind of an old school way of approach.
I mean, you've talked a lot, obviously, about Head coming back into the band. Was there any kind of trepidation going into the studio again with someone who had departed from the band 10 years ago, or was it natural?
I guess from us growing up as kids together, it's natural. It's like, he left for 8 years. It's almost like if your family every year has Christmas and one family member doesn't make it for 8 years, and they show up, you're like, hey, come grab some food, and
right.
It's just there's more to it than just a band that got formed.
Right.
So we're kind of brothers, and it was just like it was just yesterday.
Awesome. I haven't heard the whole album yet. I've only heard the 2 songs that have officially been released. So I can't really talk to any of the other 9 tracks that are on the commercial release. But I like Never Never, and I like Love and Meth. I'm assuming you might play them tonight because they've already kind of been soft released.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing Never Never and Love and Meth Tonight, their new songs, and they feel really strong and better than anything we've done in like, honestly, like 20 years. You know, it's crazy to have something that powerful up there. And we are going to do another track, Pray For Me, which is
awesome.
Such a huge, heavy, just banging, everything that you want to hear in one KoRn song is that track.
Nice.
So, you know, the album should be out soon. You know, I heard it got leaked.
I haven't checked it out yet. I don't look for that stuff.
I heard it got leaked yesterday.
Really?
Yesterday or something, but
yeah,
buy it. I still go out and support and buy it just because it's getting rough. You want to see you're like, oh, how come they never come around and come to town? Can't afford it, man, because everybody's not supporting it like they used to back in my day. I would support my bands, you know.
And we've successfully added 5 members, $2,000 waiver for you to come in because it's an extra $400 or $500 to come to Canada for every musician.
Yeah,
which is whacked.
It's crazy. It's getting harder and harder and harder. That's why we're like, man, support your artists, you know, because it's getting harder for us to come and do what we do.
I love that you're doing a theater run, playing smaller venues for your fans. It's going to be a phenomenal show. And I understand you've just introduced or announced tour with Zombie. That's before the end of the year, right?
Yeah. This right now is a good one to catch. I don't know. Obviously, we're already here. You're not going to catch it now, but we're doing it's almost like a commercial or an advertisement. You know, so we're playing really small places and just kind of advertising.
Nice.
You know, and promotional run. It's nice because sometimes we'll have to do like a press tour.
Yeah.
And we don't play because we like to play. So it's like we're getting both. It's nice.
There's 2 versions of the new album coming out. There's a standard version and there's a deluxe version. And there's 2 extra tracks on the deluxe version. Can you talk about those 2 songs and why they were only included on a premium edition?
You know, it's funny because we always do like a deluxe version.
Yeah.
And it always tends to sell better than all the regular KoRn stuff. That's not true for most artists, but for some reason the KoRn fans dig it. I think because the 2 songs that don't make it are always the ones that are the ultimate everything that is KoRn tracks. And they're just the heaviest. They're just I think that's what makes it so special. It's like you want the real deal, get the bonus track.
Did you sequence them into the album differently, or are they just tacked on at the end?
They're, you know, we always put them as bonus track. And then we always do a real like intimate type DVD, you know, and some personal behind the scenes and just, you know, all kinds of. Oh yeah, back in the day, KoRn TV, yeah. Just try to do, you know, things that I think I would want from fans.
Can you tell me what Die Another Day is? Is that a cover, or is that just another track that's on the Japanese edition?
You know, I'm not sure.
That's awesome. Who are your favorite bassists and why?
My favorite bassists are, I mean, you know, over the years, Flea's been consistent for me.
Yeah.
From the very old to new, everything. I love what that guy does. He's just a great bass player. But you know, other than that, like, I don't listen to a lot of music. I really don't. I just don't listen to music. I'm like, when I'm away from this, I'm home. I have 5 kids. I'm like, you know, just hanging with the kids and like. Even in the car, if I'm driving, you know, I got the TVs on in the back for the kids. They're watching like their little kid movies or whatever. But it's kind of nice for me because I get to step away from all this, and I just don't. At this season of my life, it could change. I'd dive back in, but nothing really right now.
Can you talk a little bit about recording in your home studio in Bakersfield?
Yeah, recording was pretty cool to go back to Bakersfield, and you know, we're all from there, so it kind of brought this vibe. Family values vibe, little plug right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we'd be like, you know, it's weird. We're like, okay, let's take a dinner break, and we go to Head's house, and his parents are making us, you know, Dad's barbecuing tri-tip, and the whole band's sitting at a dinner table, like in a family vibe type. It was real cool, and like, then we all went to my mom's house one night. She made spaghetti for everybody, and we're all hanging out. It's just being home and bringing that vibe. I think it gave us complete we were like really comfortable. So when you're comfortable, you can really create everything that you need to flow out of you. I think that's what it took.
Nice. And I got one last one for you. If you could you pick one moment in the past 20 years that's a special KoRn moment for you?
A special KoRn moment would be, yeah, you know what? Maybe it still holds, and it's hard to ever top, and I don't know if we ever will, is we did in 1999, we did Woodstock, and it was 250 or 350,000 people.
Yeah.
I don't know the number. That's both a lot.
It was a lot.
And it was like just you can look out, and I remember I couldn't see the end of the heads of people. And because music travels, sound travels, it takes a while. So as soon as we started Blind, are you ready? The whole place is jumping, but it was a wave because the sound was hitting them later, so they weren't jumping in time.
Yeah.
So it just looked like the ocean, you know, and just the vibe and the energy, and how are you gonna top that, you know?
That's
Other
awesome.
than that, I'll take it away from that. The other moments are, you know, smaller ones of getting together and we're all eating dinner at Head's family's house.
Nice.
You know, or, you know, things like that are cool. It's cool little moments.
Awesome, man. Listen, I appreciate your time.